What's good, guys? So I just woke up probably about half an hour ago, and I came back from the arena I was in.
But yeah, I suited up for this shit, and I wore all my rings and stuff like that too.
Idea, she's like, there's no reason why I should have these. I just woke up and I have claw marks on my body. For those who don't know, I was in an Astral arena last night, and I've been fighting this dark being for probably about 8 months now. And I have been fighting him and protecting the kids against him for a very long time. All the attacks that were happening in my town were happening from this specific dark being. I had my team help me fight him for a while. Last night was the final battle between us and him, and he wanted it in an arena. It was a very death game type arena, almost like the Hunger Games a little bit, but it's different because it's not like the Hunger Games in which there's like a forest and all of that type of stuff. It's very much like it's an arena that's built up of a lot of your fears and a lot of the things that will make it hard for you to stay or hard for you to fight. I remember going in the arena with two people. These are people that are on my team, and we were fighting against him, and we're fighting against some of his people essentially, and he had a lot of beings watching, and even a lot of my family and a lot of my friends were watching as well in the Astral. And I woke up this morning and people were like, oh my God, were you fighting or doing something? Because I remember seeing you in the Astral and you were fighting or you were doing this and I was watching. I was like, wow. So people are really remembering this, some of them at least. And I'm going to ask my mom later if she remembers because she was actually watching. The arena was built up of so much different obstacles and things to make you either afraid or distracted. And honestly, it was one of the most fun nights of my life. It really was. But it was like, it was intense because there was so much, it was like we were fighting this being that we've been fighting for months. And it was the final battle. Yes, we beat him, but not without all the challenge and all the training we've done for months and all of the accumulation of strength that we had to go through, especially all the learning experiences we had to go through in order to even get to this moment. The first time we fought him was the hardest. It wasn't like right now. It was we went to sleep, we're like, we're going to fight him. And then we got up and started fighting him in the Astral. And when we woke up in the morning, we were like, whoa, that was not what we thought it would be. It was actually really hard to fight him. He's very strong. So to win this final battle with him is a very memorable moment that I'll never forget. The first battle was so intense that when we woke up, I remember I was like broken mentally. I was like, whoa, this man really sent these type of demons toward me knowing that it would get me. And so it caused me to be in a spiral, and I had to start training in order to basically defeat those demons. It took me a few weeks to learn how to defeat those demons that he was sending my way, which were incubi. And that totally was a very interesting challenge, which, you know, I love challenge, but that took a lot to defeat that. And then my homies on the other end, the one time I accidentally left her because it sent an incubi my way and it basically distracted me, so it split us up. And when she woke up, she was so drained and she was so like broken energetically, and I felt so bad. But she kept telling me, she's like, it's not your fault because this is our first time fighting and we didn't know fully what we were getting into. Now we know. And so Again, very memorable moment. The first time was extremely hard. The endless weeks and months of training. And then we finally beat him.
Yup, that's what happened to me, bro. Except I didn't come back to my body multiple times. Only came back once. And yeah, I'm pretty sure he's I'm pretty sure he did the fear thing, and then that sent me back to my body because I was like, why do I feel this way? Oh, now fuck that, I'm going back in. You know that I went back in, and then I stayed asleep that whole entire time. So, and I made sure I wore a whole bunch of stuff going to sleep, bro. I had on two Moldavite earrings with my Moldavite necklace. Then I had my Dragon King necklace and stuff like that. Then I had my Selenite necklace, and I wore an obsidian bracelet on my ankle with a garnet bracelet on my ankle. And then on my wrist, I got two. I have four garnets in total, and then I have these other reptilian bracelets that also help with dream stuff. Then I have a serpentine. Oh, and I also have a serpent. I have two serpentine necklaces and one serpentine. Um, my fault. I meant to say two serpentine bracelets and one serpentine necklace. But yeah, I suited up for this shit, and I wore all my rings and stuff like that too.
Straight up, this is what my bedside looks like. You know, I had my sword here. Then I had my dagger. And I used one of my special charge up cards for some power. So I use this. And they're more of a reminder. I'm still trying to figure out how I fully want to use these. But I put this one beside my bed. And because I was getting some help fighting the car, and I had some of my team helping me, it was basically a team effort to defeat him. I laid out these cards so that they could use them if they wanted to, actually. And so when we got up in the Astral, I took everything and I brought them over to my room as well. And I said, you guys could choose a power-up card to help you. So I remember when we first found him, it was a few months ago. And I was like, okay, I found the boss. It's essentially the boss level. Demon religion calls it, or Starseeds will call them a reptilian. It doesn't matter. It's all essentially just a low vibrational being. So this was the boss level low vibrational being. And when I found him, I was excited, but I knew it was about to go down, that we were doing something we never did before. So I gathered up some of my team and I said, can you guys help me fight this boss? Because I finally found the guy who's been behind all the attacks around my town. Of course, they wanted to help me. And the first few times we fought it, it would get to the point where some of them would wake up with like claw marks on their arm. And one of them, she woke up with these scratches on her body, and her family didn't know why she had them. And she had no idea. She's like, there's no reason why I should have these. I just woke up and I have claw marks on my body. I knew right away, and we knew right away, right? So from then on, I was like, all right, we're in now. We're in. We gotta finish. Honestly, fighting in an arena like that, it was like been there, done that. Because we've done that a lot before this lifetime. But it was the first time doing it in this lifetime. So it was a huge, memorable moment. I actually forgot to mention this, but all the people that this darker being was attached to, or was leading beings that were dark that were attached to these people, they're all gone now. Like, I actually was working and am working with this one kid who had a darker being that was guided by the larger dark being attached to him. And he was sent to all these therapists. Therapists couldn't figure out what was wrong with him and why he was the way he was. And his parents sent him to the best therapists, and they couldn't figure it out. And I told the family, I said, I'm going to fight for your son. I got you. And I would spend lots of time with the son, and I would fight the being when it was around him, or when it was in the astral, I would fight it. And I would search for it in the astral too, especially. And it would jump, like this dark being would jump onto different people. So it would be on one kid, and then all the kids would come to me and say, oh, this person's bullying all of us, and or this and that's happening, they're acting weird. And then when I would work with the kid, then it would leave them. And then the kid would either only remember a little bit of what they did, or they would just be better all of a sudden. They're like, oh, I'm not as angry, or I'm not as whatever anymore. I feel better. I can't tell the parents that they have a demon on them. I can't do that. So I just, I do my thing, and the kids are number one. So I want to say that after fighting this thing in the astral, the final battle, almost everybody's doing better. Can't be a coincidence, right? For those who think it's a coincidence. We're still trying to understand why he wanted an arena, because there were so many beings watching. Beings from everywhere were watching, and you already know beings watch Earth like a movie. They're waiting to see what's going to happen, how we're going to do it. Especially if you're a starseed, you're one of them. They're like, how are they going to do this? So many beings in the galaxy were watching and are still watching. It's wild. And they came to congratulate me and my team, and they're like, you guys did it. Like, you guys are awesome. And we're like, thank you, right? But we celebrated, and we were like, this is just the beginning. This is the beginning of our journey fighting larger dark beings and fighting in an arena at that. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Peace out.